Hello my dear friends. So today we are going to see the ITIL V3 to ITIL V4. So what are the changes that has happened in the previous version of ITIL, that is ITIL version 3, and the latest version of ITIL, that is ITIL V4. Before I start, I would request you all, please like this video, also share this with your friends and subscribe the channel below for more such videos. Also, if you have any comments, please write your questions in the comment box and I will be very happy to answer them. So we all know ITIL is a framework which is based on the ISO 20000, which is a standard, and there are certain other regulations like ISO 27000, COBIT, which are all based on ITIL. ITIL is a heartline for the IT industry. And previously, ITIL had the version called as ITIL V3. The V3 had 3 pyramids and the 5 phases, which we know: service strategy, service design, service transition, service operations, and continual service improvement. So radically and drastically, if you have seen what is the change in version 4, the complete pyramids of ITIL V3, now they are replaced with practices. So we'll see what is ITIL V4. Before that, I would like to just give you an introduction as to level of certifications in ITIL V4. So previously in V3, we had ITIL Foundation, Capability and Lifecycle module. In ITIL V4, we have the Foundation and then 2 tracks, that is ITIL Managing Professionals, which has 4 papers, and then ITIL Strategic Leader, which has 2 papers. Also in between, they had launched a certification called as Managing Professional Transition. So this was a certification for those who had done ITIL V3 Expert in the past and they want to upgrade towards the new ITIL V4. And on the top, we have ITIL Masters, which is the highest level of certification in ITIL. The exam format, before we go ahead. So this is a multi-choice exam question. The total questions are 40, same as previous. The total time is 60 minutes and the passing percentage is 65%, which means 26 questions should be correct. Now, the main introduction in ITIL V4, the concept of service. So definitely ITIL V3 also talked about service, but ITIL V4 talks about service value stream. And then what is service value stream? So if you see the slide, in service value stream, it defines each and every concept regarding services. So number 1, the guiding principles. So ITIL V4 has its own guiding principles, which are nothing but the recommendations that will guide the organization. Also, ITIL has governance, so which is the new introduction to the ITIL V4. So governance means by which an organization is directed and controlled. ITIL also now talks about certain practices. So there are some 7 practices which are the core of ITIL V4, and there are 11 additional practices, so which we are going to see in the next slides. We talk about continual improvement in service value stream, and then opportunity and demand, which is an input, and the output is value to the customer. And the heart of service value stream, which is called as service value chain. Now, what are these practices? So in the previous version of ITIL V3, we have never seen this word called as practice. So what is a practice? It's a wider version of a process. So previously in the ITIL V3, we had multiple processes which were divided from service strategy to CSI. Now we have practices divided into 3 different sections. So if you see the slide, the general management practice, which has multiple processes, service management practice, which is again multiple processes, and technical management practices. So this 3 practices has processes under it, so which we see in detail. And if you see this, the one which are highlighted in the blue are the ones which are covered in the ITIL V4 foundation. Now let us see what are the main 7 practices and what are the 11 additional practices. So the 7 ITIL core practices which are there is continual improvement, the change control mechanism, incident management, problem management, service requests, service desk, and service level management. So these practices are the heartline of ITIL V4. So also all this existed in the ITIL V3, but there are certain changes from the processes to the practices. So for more detail, you can definitely go through our courseware and you will understand much better. Now, what are the additional 11 practices? That are nothing but information security, relationship management, supplier management, availability, capacity and performance, IT asset management, service configuration, service continuity, event management, release management, and deployment management. So these are the additional 11 practices, and the total bunch of practices that we see in ITIL V4 is 18. Also, there are certain introduction of new practices, something like we say relationship management, which was not there in ITIL V3, but most of them were there in the ITIL V3. But again, as I said, in ITIL V3 we had processes and now we have practices. So the difference you will see in the courseware if you read carefully, and the book which I have written on ITIL V4, please go through the same. Now, the ITIL V3 old processes. So as I mentioned before, we had multiple processes in ITIL V3 within service strategy, design, transition, operation, and CSI. Now these have been replaced with the practices which you've already seen. Now let's see the FAQ section. Validity of ITIL V4. Same like ITIL V3, V4 is valid for lifetime. There is another question which I see frequently from the candidates. Is my ITIL V3 not valid anymore? So the answer to this is yes, it is valid. Nonetheless, as there are so many changes from ITIL V3 to ITIL V4, I would strongly recommend you to go for ITIL V4 certification and the training. The reason is because ITIL V4 has introduced something called a service value stream and service value chain. It has introduced 3 different practice domains, and under that practice domains we have practices, which are 18 practices which they have introduced in ITIL V4. So please go through the ITIL V4. Is ITIL V4 worth spending? So definitely, to answer this, I believe ITIL is a mandate if you're working in IT industry or in IT domain or in IT department as an IT engineer, project manager, etc., etc. Because you should understand what is the core concept of IT and the ITIL, that is IT infrastructure library. So with this, I would like to end my presentation. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions in the comment section, or you can contact me on my number. My number is available on WhatsApp and I'm very active. Also, there is an email address which is given where you can share and write your comments, your feedback, your suggestions. Thank you so much. Also, please do not forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to the channel for the further videos. Thank you so much.